Hello again, welcome back to Average Gamer Plays Factorio. Now, I'm going to carry on scaling the base up. I'm going to, I think all those beacons that I put down, not beacons, solar panels, got placed. So I'll expand that, I'll duplicate all this because they are producing already. Well, they're going down because it's getting darker, isn't it? And then the okay, why is that not going anywhere? Why is that sat in the middle there? It's got a green signal there. Is it just that this has turned itself off because everything's been built? That train is in. Let's go into blueprints and just stick another one of those down, see what happens. Come on, out the way of the trees. Oh, there it comes. I don't know what happened to that earlier. But we'll carry on putting down solar panel arrays. In fact, shall I... let me just come over here. Turn my Roboport off. One, two, three, four. Solar X4, let's do that. Great blueprints. Stick that down there in a minute. Go back into there and let's go. Create a new blueprint book. Solar arrays, and we'll have a solar panel and accumulator. And put those. Okay, That goes in nice and quick now. We'll see how long it takes to get all that built. Now, in the meantime, I have made another array on my sandpit world. Sandpit, sandbox, potato, potato. And what I'm going to do is have a look at putting this down. This is for a beaconed steel plant. Now I've got two versions. I've got a 12 beacon build and an 8 beacon build. And they both work exactly the same way. I just want to see how big this one is. If I rotate that way, it will sort of fit in along down there. I just wanted to see how big it was compared to everything else. But if yeah, that's the output down over there. Yeah, for the sake of argument, let's put down this 12 beacon build and we'll see. If I put one down over there, will I have room to squeeze another one in? So that one goes in. Yes, I will. I should be able to sort of put one above the other. Put that down over there. Now this one inputs the iron ore from this end, so what I could do is just get the iron ore sort of directly from here, from the train station. Feed a line up from here directly instead of feeding it up from there, basically. It's not that one, it's that one there I need to do. So that is getting built quite nicely. And then all of this. Once that is in place, I'll take out all of this one. And this goes down remarkably quickly once you've let everything build up in your base, and you've got plenty of modules and plenty of everything to go in. It just goes down straight away, basically. I need to get some. Am I requesting any substations? Let's get some substations. Don't need 50. Let's just have 20. Let's just have 10. Right, 0 in logistic storage. That's probably because they're all on the train. Big electric poles. Plenty of everything down there. Have we got substations anywhere? I'm pretty sure I put them on a train somewhere. There we go. Right, let's cut this line here. Don't need that going there anymore. And in fact, let's then start feeding it. Let's feed an entire line. Let's turn that off there. Yeah, I can use the bots to take all this up because they will they'll feed the iron ore. I'm pretty sure I've got a little thing to feed the iron ore back onto a belt somewhere, and if I haven't, I'll put one in so that we're not keeping the iron ore in storage, basically. Let's do something like that. And now we're starting to get some steel coming out on there already. We'll just wait for all this to empty itself out, might as well. Let's see where these are taking them. Yes, there is a little requested chest there. So that takes any iron ore that I don't already I don't want to have. It doesn't keep it in storage, just feeds it back on the belt, and that goes into to be smelted again. So nothing gets wasted. Now all these are now completely empty. So again, that can all come up. And again, I've got a similar thing with coal. That all gets recycled. All the coal goes down in this direction and into that requested chest, and it ends up getting used for making plastic. Okay, I shall pick up some of that later on. Now, What's happening here? Oh, have I taken something up and it's got no electricity? Okay, well let's feed it with some power from down below, as they say. Now, the maths behind all this is that I've had a look at the when I was building this in my sandbox world, I did some calculations on how much sort of one machine was producing, 301.5 per minute, and the steel one consumes inputs 251.25, and if you work out the ratio of those, it is exactly 5 5 iron plate smelters to 6 steel smelters, and that uses up all of the steel that's produced gets used to make all of the iron that's produced gets used to make steel, and this whole thing outputs 361.8. You see here, net rate 0, which means everything matches up exactly. There's no surplus, there's no undersupply of the iron plate. So everything gets used completely, and it produces 301 steel plate per minute. So I might want to put down a second one of those. Now producing 215 megawatts through the solar panels, which is not bad. Still waiting for quite a few of those to get built. So I might end up putting a second array down here if it turns out that we need more steel coming in, which we probably will. In fact, I think we almost definitely will. Let's do another one. And just merge those together. Okay. And I've done this in slightly the wrong place. That needs to come out there. That needs to go, come on, up there. And that one will come around there a little bit and merge in over there like that. Now I might be able to again because these, if we have a look at this, all of this now, that takes in 2,261, which is still not quite a full blue belt. So taking that blue belt there and splitting it in two should still mean that everything works. And we're getting a sort of nice nice line of steel coming in. Now, I don't think it matters too much that it's blue belt coming out here and then it turns to a red belt. I think there's still, because it's not a full belt, it still doesn't need to be. But most of it is still going off. Where's it going? Down this way to make roboports. Okay. 45 steel plate per roboport, and then we're still using a lot of that. Yeah, we're using those to make all for the solar panel array, aren't we? So, and a lot of these are being used down here. Yeah, okay, to make the substations. Okay, so it looks like we're going to need maybe even an awful lot more steel coming in. But yeah, we shall... Now, hang on a minute. What's going on here? Okay, maybe there isn't enough coming in there. Basically there should be, but this one isn't producing anything, and means that these on the end aren't producing anything. Okay. Let's so I might need to severely sort of scale up my iron production. That's fine, because it is, if you have a look over here, both sides of the belt are moving. So it is drawing from more than half of the belt. Now that does mean, if we do it this way around, that only 2 belts are coming in at this end, which is maybe not so bad, because that is still producing, you know, there's still plenty of iron on the bus here for what we're using at the moment anyway. It might mean that I need to set up, ultimately I think I'll set up another iron mine somewhere else and just have it purely feeding the steel, and then have this original one feeding the feeding the rest of the base. So that is after the belt balancer. So we're in a situation here. This is what I noticed previously. These wagons and everything are getting unloaded unevenly. Let's just set that to be 0 as well. So we'll just get rid of all that coal. So these wagons unload quickly because these chests are a lot emptier. Now I don't think it makes a massive amount of difference really, but as long as we've got enough coming in, and I might actually see if I can if we've got enough trains and they're stacked up enough, then as soon as one leaves the next one comes in, so we've got plenty of ore coming in. And I could even I've got enough, I think there's 3 trains on this line already. I've got in another enough stacker space for a 4th train. So I might just do that. I might just put a 4th train on there. Now what I did with the iron, let's just sort of come out of the way of all this. Wander down to my iron mine. Just see how well this is all working down here. Let's it's the other side of the lake. Now I had a situation where, and I've upgraded these belts to blue belts, but I had a situation where these chests weren't being loaded evenly, and I've set the trains to either be a full cargo or 45 seconds, because I was running out of ore at the base because the train was spending too long over here getting loaded up. Now it looks like changing all these to blue belts has solved that problem, because all these do seem to be loading up sort of more evenly. Now what I can do is put some of these power poles back in. And just basically get more of this mine working, and these belts just sort of getting filled up at a quicker rate of knots basically. Because yeah, look, these are all full and these aren't. And it takes time for them to fill up. So I think that this balancer isn't working, isn't the best one that it could be. Now basically we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, isn't it? It's a 7 to 4. Uh, 7 to 4 balancer now. Yeah, looking at it, it looks like there's more iron coming out on these 2 lines than there is on those 2. So that is already full. These will stop loading first, and then those will stop loading afterwards, because yeah, you can just see that these belts are more full than those belts. I wonder if it's going to be better for me to do And I don't know if it's the fault of the balancer or a fault of the fact that there might just be more miners on one side than the other. That is entirely possible. Yeah, those should be... one further down so that they actually fit in with everything else. So that's basically turned on the whole of this top half, plus one or two down here. Everything there is full. There's still a few bits coming in there. Yeah, that's because there's only 2 miners on this side, isn't there? Okay. But the trains are coming in pretty frequently. They are actually leaving completely full because they fill up in less than the 45 seconds. So that's as good as we can hope to get at the moment, I think, from this. Let's just get in there and catch a lift back to the base. So it's amazing sort of how quickly you start going through iron once you start scaling everything up. And what you think was a large ore patch turns out isn't really. See, this is okay because there's trains stacked up here. As soon as this one leaves, you know, we're not going to be running short of iron coming in here because there's enough trains coming in. Okay. So that should be... Yeah, we're getting steel starting to get backed up on this belt a little bit, so certainly on one side of it anyway, so that's okay. We're now producing more steel than we're using, which is what I like to see. Now then, let's have a quick look at the map. So there's still plenty of that being built. Those will... yeah, there's plenty of steel on this line now to make the roboports. They're getting made as fast as we can, really. In fact, let's bump that up to... I need to request... Yes, I do have some. Ha ha ha. What I might need to do is rebuild these somewhere else, because that is not going to be feeding enough of that in from that one inserter there, is it? Right, let's do something a little bit. On the right, and we just want red circuits. I will put 2 of those on there. Put 1 of those on there. Still not getting those fast enough, is it really? Right. Let's change this around a little bit. Let's have 1 of those up there. We'll have a blue belt coming out. Still stay there. 2 of those in there. 1 of those coming out of there. Bit of power. Still not enough though, is it? Let's put that's better, I think. Probably doesn't even need those speed modules in there because still waiting for ingredients, so we don't need the speed modules, but that's certainly producing a lot faster than it was before. Output full, okay. And now we're waiting for the red circuits. Ha ha ha. So we've filled out the bottleneck on the gears, and now it's the red circuits that are lacking. Make sure all those are red belts. That should be better. Now, do I just need that one machine there with all those beacons around it? Now that that is filling up faster, it's the steel that we're now running short of. Yeah, let's take those back out of there. I don't think we need. Now then. So all this seems to be working quite nicely. Let's I don't have any radars over there. Do I want to put radars in along here? Don't think I really need them, do I? But we are getting more solar panels going in. We've got 4,500 panels and 2,700 accumulators. Which, because it's the middle of the night, we've drained all the power out of them, I think. Yeah. So 2,800, 4,500. Yeah, we've got a shortage of accumulators basically, because it should be 84%. So if we've got, let's get my calculator out on my phone here. We've got 4,500 solar panels times 0.84. We should have 3,780. So we're short of about 1,000 accumulators at the moment. They will get built. It's just a case of how quickly I slap down the blueprints. So everything. Yeah, there's still an awful lot of gaps here where there should be. Does it look like all of the solar panels have been put down? It does, doesn't it? So it looks like we're only missing, yeah, 600 and something accumulators. Well, that's 600 and something that's sort of within range. So that's fine, I'll just wait for that to finish putting all those down. So we're getting plenty of oh right, Yeah, we've got too many of those in there, haven't we? We need to... Let me turn this off at the main base so that we're not putting any more roboports and substations and whatever on the train until we actually need them. So let's turn the logic request off for that and turn the logic request off for that. So here's me making sure that we're building thousands and thousands of roboports. We don't actually need them because there's already hundreds in stock at the other end. So what we need to build more of is accumulators. So I've only got one machine there making accumulators. And it looks like it's... Yeah, even then that's not quite running at full tilt, is it? That one is. So ideally what we need is 2 machines making... let's try and do another one of these. So we've got... if I put one down... It's a case of how we feed everything in, because this isn't quite tileable, is it? Well, I can make it tileable if I run... if I get the steel coming in, the iron plates coming in there, and then run them underneath and along to here, and I get the copper plates coming in there. So I need steel, copper, iron, copper, steel, and... Although actually the solar panels and the accumulators are completely separate builds, aren't they? Right, let's just do another... Try and do another build for... Let's just sort of tweak this a little bit. So we're going to have steel coming in there. Let's turn all these off because we've got plenty of substations now, haven't we? We can have a substation in there. Right, so that's going to be steel. And then we need copper coming in down there. Now, don't know if this will work. Actually, no, what we'll do is we'll have the copper coming in down there, we'll have the steel going out upwards. So we need basically... let's just get rid of that for a minute. So I want 2 of these doing... Let's build this manually. Still not building chemical plants on the mall, am I? 5 steel plates. I need 10 steel plates. Okay. Oh, I've got that set to take them all away, haven't I? Right. Make 2 of those pronto. So that is going to be steel coming in there. Copper coming in there. Batteries coming out over there. Power over there. And then we need another. Accumulator machine, which needs steel coming in there and batteries coming in there, and then we'll have that outputting to there, and we need a Roboport covering everything. Yeah, we'll just stick that in there. Now, so we basically need cut those off over there. Let's upgrade all of that. Yellow to red, red to blue. Because why the hell not? Probably all needs to be upgraded anyway at this point. But it's still producing, so that's produced 2,227, that's already produced 60. Okay. It turns out we need more of those. I can just stamp another one of those down later on. I will probably change the blueprint to input the steel, input the iron plate at this level instead of doing it in the middle and then feeding it round. Although, no, because that pipe is in the way and it's not in the way over there. Although I could feed that in. I could have the inserter over here and it'll pick up off the underground belt. That'll still work. I think I'm going to need to put another 1 or 2 of these down anyway, because we're going to need accumulators for the satellite, I think. make the satellite, that takes, yeah, 100 solar panels and 100 accumulators. So we're going to need to have one of these plants sort of dedicated to making equipment for the satellite. And I'm not sure how to... Yeah, what I'll do with that, instead of outputting into a provider chest, I'll just get it to output onto a belt and then feed straight into a satellite making factory. Yeah, I'll do it that way around. And another thing that I noticed, I don't know if you saw this or whatever on the previous video, was that this, where I was making the provider chests, I didn't filter those out on the output chest, and that was absolutely full. So when I have a look at my logistics, I have got 2,400 passive provider chests in there, which was, you know, way too many basically. 1,400 prod module 3s, that's pretty good going. 406 speed modules. Yeah. So we've certainly got plenty of equipment to start scaling up and start building bigger factories, basically. How are we doing now? 375. So we're certainly getting better with the accumulators there. Have a look at the power. 4,500, 3,200. So yeah, we're getting a lot more power now. So these two nuclear plants that I'm put down are only producing 580 something megawatts between them. Right, let's wander over to my, not that I really need that many more modules at the moment, but I'm just curious to see how much of the, oh, that looks a little bit incorrect there. But I won't worry about that too much at the moment. I think eventually, and pretty soon, I will I'll start launching rockets, and I'll have to sort of switch the rest of the base back on to do a little bit of research to use up some science packs. But I can't really do very much research. See, that's all going at full tilt. So we've not really got full belts of iron coming in, which means we've not really got full belts of iron plates coming out. We've definitely not got full belts of copper coming out. So yeah, this is very, very sparse indeed. Right, I think what I will definitely have to do if I want this to keep running at full speed, and I probably do, is let's have a look at the map and see. So there's 35 million. So that was, well, that's 22 million there, 29. I will feed in from another. I'll set up a mining outpost on here. And I might set up another mining outpost on here as well, or down on this one, just to make sure that these lines coming in are as full as they can be. Because this is working at less than peak efficiency, because it's being starved of resources a little bit. So let's just have a look at where all these copper plates are going. So a lot of these are coming down here. We're still making green belts, but they are getting stacked up because there's very, very few coming in to make the red belts, the red circuits. And yeah, blue circuit production seems to be okay. Again, module production is chugging along, but it could be chugging along faster. And I'll keep laying down the blueprints for the solar panels, and we'll start looking at yeah, launching some rockets, I think. So I need to do right, coal liquefaction plant, that's done. Right, we want low density structures. We need rocket fuel. We need rocket silo. We need satellites. Okay. So low density structures, rocket silo. I mean, these are all kind of equally important because you can't really launch a rocket until you've got all of them done. But I will certainly start looking into that in the next episode, I think. I'll do some... I'll make sure that the ore supply is consistent. And I might bump up the satellite or the accumulator production as well. I'm certainly getting plenty of solar panels being made. I don't think I need to do anything more with the solar panels, but I just need to make sure that I'm producing accumulators in the same sort of quantity as to match the solar panel production. But if not, you know, eventually that will fill up and that'll be fine. Yeah, and then we'll have, right, so why is that? It's because it's running out of sulfuric acid. And that's, alright. So, first thing I need to do next episode is, yeah, because we're not getting as any, not getting very much sulfur coming out. So I might need to just scroll back out. Let's move out of the way. That was a bit too loud. Yeah, I might need to beaconize all this lot. Put a whole new oil plant down. I mean, let's just double check. Actually, are we actually getting? Yeah, we're still getting a full pipe of crude oil coming in. But yeah. Even if I just sort of change those inserters for blue ones. Changing those to red belts is just highlighting how little sulfur is actually being produced. All right, let's set that. No, if I set that output priority to the right, it's all going to get used up and absolutely nothing. So what is this actually being used for anything up here at all? Because I've actually turned off. It was being used for blue science, but I'm not making any blue science at the moment because I've turned all the science factories off. So I could, well, it's all going to go to the sulfuric acid thing anyway. If this belt isn't moving at all, then everything being produced is going to go out that way. Yeah, okay. bump up sulfuric acid production. That one should definitely be at the top. Okie dokie. Something to do for next time. Something urgent to do for next time. And so now that all that's said and done, it's time for me to say, see you next time.